What's up, guys? Hit on all sports. Time for me going over a college football preview. This one's going to be over Boise State and Florida State. Both of these teams had surprising seasons last year. I didn't really expect Boise State to do as well as they did. But on the other hand, Florida State kind of weren't as good as I thought they'd be last year. I mean, with having a first-year head coach and Willie Taggart, that was going to be a kind of a tough say there on how Florida State was going to do last year. But this is going to be a very important game for both teams. We're going to be going over it here today in a preview. This game is going to be in week 1, Saturday, August 31st, kind of towards the evening. Florida State is expected to win it by 6 right now in the spread, so really the spread's keeping it pretty close here. The FPI is also saying Florida State wins it 71%, and Vegas is saying Boise State actually wins it, so we got a little bit of a disagreement there. Boise State says that they win it by 10, 31-21. And so obviously these are pretty close, and I mean, this is being recorded on Tuesday, about a week before the game is going to be played. So these odds will very likely change over the next week or so. And so be sure to watch out for that. But here's your stat comparison for this game. Boise State's ranked up there. I mean, they're beating Florida State, I think, in almost every category. Yeah, they're beating them in every category here. Then again, Boise State isn't in as good of a conference as Florida State is. That's just something to note there. I mean, they're ranked 19th in total offense, 57th in total defense. You know, Florida State really was down last year, 111th in total offense. They had the worst rushing offense in all of the FBS. There are 127 or 128 teams in the FBS. So that puts Florida right down at the bottom. But their passing offense is kind of what lifted them up a little bit. They're ranked 41st there. Meanwhile, for Boise State, though, once again, they were 19th in total offense, 64th in rushing, 16th in passing. And then on defense, they're ranked 96th in rushing and 29th in passing. I mean, this game really sets up for a pretty good upset. I mean, looking at the 2018 final statistics, and of course, these will likely change a ton over the next few weeks. But Boise State's best part on defense is their passing defense, and Florida State's best thing on offense is passing offense. And so that's going to kind of affect how Florida State's going to have to go there with Boise State's excellent passing defense. And so, you're going to have to see the passing game be a little bit restricted there for Florida State. The running game is going to have to be very improved for Florida State if they're going to be able to win this game. Total defense, they're ranked 76th. Rushing out defense, they're ranked 114th. And then passing defense is 48th. And then again, though, the passing offense for Boise State, kind of vice versa there, is the best part of Boise State's offense, but passing defense is the best part of Florida State's defense. So when we kind of look at that, we can see whether this game could set up for an upset or not. And this one is very favorable for that, so you're going to have to watch out. I think in week 1, honestly, if there's going to be any game that's going to be an upset, this definitely could be the one right here. But the thing is, then again, it is in Florida State, and so that already gives Florida State a pretty big advantage, especially with Boise State having to go across the country. 2018 record for both these teams, it was 10-3 for Boise State. Florida State just missed a bowl game. They went 5-7. How would Boise State win this game? They take advantage of Florida State's losses, and they take advantage of their weak spots. I think about the same for Florida State. They need to do that of Boise State as well. I think though Florida State, granted they are in the ACC, and that is a much better conference than the Mountain West. And so, I mean, considering that, I think Florida State's got better odds to win this game in that category. Well, Florida State's uncertainties in Taggart's second year. Will Willie Taggart be able to improve this team this year? I really do believe that he's going to be able to prove him. It's tough to say whether Florida State's going to be able to make 7 or 8 wins this year. I think they'll make a bowl game. Florida State really shouldn't have much of a problem. I think they'll be improved enough to be able to do that. But it's kind of unsure whether they're going to be able to get to 7, 8 wins yet this season. I mean, it's possible, but it's not very likely right now. They've got a lot to rebuild on. And Boise State pulling upset here. Once again, as I've said before, very possible that this game is going to be in an upset. But I'm actually not expecting that. I think that Florida State is actually going to pull this one off late. I'm actually going to say right now that Florida State wins it off of a field goal, 34-31. We're going to see it tied up at halftime, 21-21, kind of a shootout in the first half, kind of looking like a high-scoring game, and it slows down a little bit in the second half. But I think both teams kind of race off to fast starts, and that's how we get to that 21-21 score. Florida State ends up pulling this one off in the very end. I think it's going to be very close. I'd say this is probably one of our better games of week one. Definitely going to be one to watch out for. Boise State, once again, they've got huge potential to pull off an upset in this game. And if I was wrong about this prediction, honestly, I wouldn't be very surprised. This could go in many other ways. Probably one of the more difficult ones to predict for week one. But yeah, Florida State, I expect to win this game, 34-31. Do you disagree with this prediction? Be sure to let me know if you do, and be sure to let me know why. I'll try to get back to your guys' opinions in the comments below, and I'd like to hear what you guys think on this game. If you disagree with this, don't let your thoughts go unknown. Yeah, we're going over college football previews for week one right now, and we'll be going over some more rankings eventually for week one. This is being recorded on the week of week 0. And so then again, things could change a lot in the next week. Be sure to stay tuned for that as well. Thank you guys all for watching, and stay tuned for more from All Sports Central.